Good night, everyone. This is Sophie. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to the channel, I'm from Jamaica, been living in the US for over 25 years, and I'm just so excited to be sharing my journey with you. Um, Part of what I do is I read the Bible to anyone who wants to hear, and my I do this because every time I read the Bible to anyone, it is kind of like a tribute to my dad because that's what we used to do for him when he was blind. Dad passed away a few years ago from kidney failure, due to high blood pressure, diabetes. And so we want to just continue his memory, and what better way than to share the Bible with anyone who will listen? And then also, I just talk about experiences that I've had, share my journey, and hope that this is something that you guys can relate to as well. So, tonight we're going to talk about why do we allow ourselves to be treated badly? Why do we accept it? Why are we okay with people being selfish towards us and we just compromise or we just lose ourselves in friendships or relationships? What kind of person are you? Are you that kind of person who wants everybody to feel good around you? So you'll rather they feel good and then you sacrifice your own happiness, your own self esteem. What kind of person are you? Have you ever really sat and defined who you are? So I think well, I know for sure I'm that kind of AB personality. Uh, I'm not just one steady thing. I fluctuate. So one minute I'll be fine, and then something triggers, and then I'll be another personality. So I fluctuate. The the thing is though, it makes it easier with I think with that kind of personality, it makes it easier to not really stay mad at people, but at the same time, because you get rid of whatever you're feeling so quickly, you then kind of just push it under the rug, and then another month or two or a few days later or a few weeks later, then something else triggers and the same issue pops up. So I think with my personality, I don't necessarily deal with things right away because I'm not necessarily a confrontational person. I will get into stuff if I need to, but I try to stay away from confrontation because it exhausts me, gives me headaches, and I just don't have the bandwidth or the energy. But I think because we're Jamaican, we tend not to back down from anything. Um, we're sometimes I think like Jamaican women sometimes are what they defined as difficult because we're not take no check kind of thing. We're not very submissive. I'm not sure if we know how to serve or be subservient. And being subservient is not necessarily meaning you have people walk over you. It kind of is being able to see that, hey, there might be another perspective or point of view, and yours might not necessarily be the correct one. So calmly listen and see if what the person is saying makes sense rather than bulldozing over people. And I think like the Jamaican women that I know, including myself, tend to be like that. Tell me. Are you that kind of person? What kind of personality are you? If you're Jamaican, a Jamaican woman, what are you? If you a man and you're with a Jamaican woman, what kind of woman is she? Um, what what makes us this way? And I think because we grew up having to be strong, because in Jamaica you can't soft. You have to tough, and if you don't know for tough, you have to surround yourself with people who tough. And I think that's part of why we have this strong exterior and sometimes interior, and it disallows us and sometimes takes away the blessings that are coming towards us. Because a friend always said to me, you see what you get, but you not see what you miss. And I don't know if other people hear that saying, but what it means is you only see what's in front of you. You don't see what the possibilities were, what you could have gained if you kind of did just answer back, if you did kind of listen, if you would not been that close-minded. Um, but at the same time, we the people, I know just based on who I am in my relationships. I was married before and divorced many years ago. But in that relationship, I think part of the problem was I was too, I think I was too rough, you know, meaning, and by rough, I mean like I never allowed nothing for pass. And by nature, I don't trust people. Um, my friend always say you only trust your God. So I don't trust people. So because of that, you see things that might not necessarily be there. You make up your own version of things. And I think that was part of our problem. But that was just a tiny, tiny part of the problem. Um, the other the other parts of it was he just was not who I needed to be with. I stayed, and then the excuse that I had was because I needed help from my dad because my dad was sick, and you'll see that in other videos where we talk about just being sick and how we maneuver through that and through pain and loss and death. And then I also have a son. We have a son that has autism, so it requires a lot more. Fortunately, he isn't, the kids like some of the kids that we know where, they'll hurt themselves or hurt other people. He is very mild mannered, so that helps. But it still requires um, more than the average kid. So, part of it is stay because he loves his father. So you try to stay in that relationship and placate people because you figure it better with the evil that you know than the one you don't kind of situation until you wise up. And then those experiences make it even harder because then you really still don't trust people. So you kind of bring that baggage into relationships, and it affects relationships. It's very that kind of negativity drives wedges between relationships. And especially as strong Jamaican women, where we come from a Jamaican background where we have to be strong because most of us grew up poor or just with enough. So you kind of had to figure out and maneuver and always make do with stuff. So when you have anything, you hold on to it because you're thinking it's better to hold on to this than to have nothing at all. Maybe a mad way of looking at things, maybe our perspectives whacked, if people still use that word. But it is that similar kind of thing that allows you or disallows you from leaving relationships that you should have. So put it in the comment section, send me a message, let me know what your experiences have been, your relationships, your man woman relationships, what that has been like. Are you that Jamaican woman that don't let anything go? Are you that Jamaican woman that's not trustworthy, or I mean doesn't trust anybody? Or are you that Jamaican woman who have now evolved and you're like, okay, may I take care of my man, and that doesn't mean I'm losing myself, but I'm a better version of who I was. Tell me, share with me, teach me something, because sometimes you're in situations and you don't assess it properly, while somebody else looking on see it as clear as day that you're doing foolishness. So I'll continue to share more of my journeys and talk with you more, and I hope you will do the same. So thank you for listening and make it a great night. See you in the next video. Bye.